Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Hi, I'm Jenny McCafferty, and I'm here with Gary Morgan, who had a great story about Olympic golf for the first time it had been held in many, many years from Rio. Tell us a little bit about what you remember from those Olympics. This is the guy, and he designed that Olympic course. Go for it, Gary.
It is the.
Gary?
Well, it was awesome being there in Rio at the golf course there. I interviewed one of the ladies with public relations with.
Hi, I'm Ana Pacheco. I'm daughter of Paulo Pacheco, the president of the Brazilian Golf Confederation. We're very happy to have the Olympics in our country right when golf comes back to the Olympics. We're big fans. My daughter has won the senior amateur in the U.S. twice, the World Senior Amateur. Has been a golfist for a long time. And golf has become a great social inclusion sport in our country with over 80,000 kids in an institute that we run, which is also funded by RNA. And it's a wonderful event. We are very grateful that all the professional golf associations came over and helped, and I think we turned out to have a good place here.
And I learned listening to her that this where they had the golf course, it was basically just an open field. Nothing was there, and they transformed it into. It became the first public golf course they've ever had in Brazil. All other courses have been private. It is an elite sport for the rich, but this is the first public golf course that they have built, and it is for the public after the Olympics. So anyway, being on it, like I said, they built it from scratch. They had a small clubhouse there, but and I got to tour it a little bit, and then playing. And I believe it was just the first day of them out there playing. And of course I saw some of the Americans and what have you, but I was impressed that it was a very highly challenging course. There was like the usual sand pits. You had to go over some water spots. They had large grass, high grass in the rough in certain places, but yet it still was spectator friendly. They had it set up so you could see everything, and we weren't that far from the golfers to see, what their names were. They had them on the back of their shirts and everything like that. Like I said, it was great to be out there. I thought it was to be at the Olympic golf course, and for the first time them having golf at the Olympics in over 100 years. It was exciting to see it. Now, it was a long ways from the city. It was over an hour and a half bus ride to get out there. But for them to have it, it was super. And there was a large crowd out there. People were very excited. It was a sold-out crowd. And like I said, it was exciting to be there. And, looking forward to in 2021 when Tokyo hosts the Olympics, and they'll have golf back there again.
Cool. In fact, Gil Hunt's just did some work at Oakland Hills.
Okay.
So he's a hot new guy.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
That's kind of cool. So in terms of international golf, we just came back from a huge international event. It was a women's event, the Solheim Cup, which is kind of the equivalent of the Ryder Cup. And it was in Toledo at the Inverness Golf Club, and it was really fun to see the international flavor. The Europeans were a little bit disappointed because of traveling restrictions. They had fewer fans than they're used to having. Did you notice that kind of thing when you saw international golf?
At the Olympics, it was not I'm telling you, it was not a big production like the Solheim Cup. It was pretty low key. It was a long ways out. They did not have music there, and there was, I'd say, in my opinion, from maybe 500 people there, maybe 1,000, and you couldn't just wander around the course. I mean, you obviously have to walk and follow the courses. They've got it marked and how the athletes are competing along the way. But there was not thousands of people there, not like here. and it was nowhere near the size of a golf course. But once again, this was their first foray into it. But it was exciting watching the international players. And, obviously, whenever they got up and they had their countrymen around, their fans. But what I did notice about golf, everybody cheers for everybody out there. It's a true, it's like track and field. When there's a great performance, everybody cheers it on. Doesn't matter who did it or what country they're from.
That's a great point. I noticed that at the Solheim Cup, that if a European player made a great putt, she got a cheer.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah.
which is a little bit unusual. But the Ryder Cup is always a lot of fun. It's fun to see the international competition. We had a chance to see it at Oakland Hills, and we're really looking forward to the next one coming up soon at Whistling Straits with the Pete Dye course there.
Yeah, a little bit, more on TV than anything. And, I think, obviously since the pandemic, golf has really taken off. And, and there was the Tiger Woods era, and now we've got a whole new generation of young people out there. And I think that's really making a big impact. And a lot of young people are wanting to get into golf with everything. And I hear about new golf teams with the high school and colleges left and right now.
Yeah, it was pretty cool how the pandemic underscored that golf is a game for many generations. You can play it from the time you're 6 until you're 90.
Well, let's we can talk about the Olympic deal here, since they just had the Olympics at Tokyo, and that was a regular Olympic. We had an American win it, Nelly Korda, and she won the gold medal. The men won it, and I cannot pronounce his name, but he won the gold. Xander Schauffele, and so he won the gold medal also. And America definitely leads with the Olympics, and any sport they get big in, this is still the number one market. So that's definitely a big plus, and I think it's kind of cool with the women's golf. You got the sister combination of Nelly Korda and her sister Jessica, who also was on the Olympic team with her. People always like when you have a sibling combination in an American sport or any sport, any country. And I think, for international, I think that's really helping. But watching the meet yesterday, what I really know was it was a lot of young people. Most of those young ladies were under 30, and usually before it was a little bit older. So I'm glad to see, and there was a lot of young spectators also. So I think that's why golf is really taking, and internationally too. Like I said, it was all a lot of young people out there playing compared to more people in their 30s. It was a lot of people in their 20s on the teams.
So golf is hot, and international golf is even hotter. So pay attention to what's coming up, especially the Ryder Cup. Thanks, Gary.